First of all, I'll welcome all of you in the class of biochemistry. So you are most welcome in the biochemistry classes. We'll be interacting with you over the years to have exchanges of our ideas and give you some basic concept of the subject of biochemistry and its application in your nursing life. So, welcome you all, and I wish you all the best to all of you as you are starting your career in this very, very novel profession to the humanity. I hope you are all doing very well and keeping all of you very safe. So today, it is the introduction of biochemistry. This class is the introduction of biochemistry. And what is biochemistry? So biochemistry in a nutshell you can describe as a chemical basis of life. And this chemical basis of life exists in the cell. Your life exists in a cell, which is known also as a unit of life. So, by knowing biochemistry, you will be knowing more and more about the cellular life. And as cell is a part of the entire body, so millions of cells has given you the human body. So if you learn about a cell's particular way of life and how this life is going on, then only you will be understanding about the whole body, and ultimately you will be able to know about any changes in the cellular life that will be manifested as disease. So we will go deep into the biochemistry deals with the molecular basis of life rather. So just we look at the structure of the cell first. How this cell is made of. How you know the cell is made up of? What is a cell? A cell, in fact, composed of different organelles. So first of all, we start with the human body. This human body is made up of different tissues and organ systems. So multiple tissues like your muscle tissue, your nerve tissues, your cardiovascular tissues, and your organs, heart, brain, lung, kidneys, all are organs. So all are made up of different cells. And these multiple cells actually doing a separate type of actions in a separate places grouped together. So that's why your body is built up. And this cell, if you look at an individual cell, all the cells are almost same in a structure, but we function a little different. They are made up of different organelles. Like cell membrane. Cell is made up of a membrane, as you know in your higher secondary classes, made of membrane, cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, nucleus, etc. Different organelles are there. So if you further look into those organelles, how they are made up of, that you will be going to know in further in your biochemistry classes. That how a plasma membrane is made up of, how a mitochondria is made up of. Now what are the different structures? So we will be then knowing that this plasma membrane, as you in your higher secondary classes have known, plasma membrane is made up of lipids, bilayer, as well as some proteins and there are also some carbohydrate residues. So this is made up of a complex biomolecules, lipoprotein, proteoglycans, glycoproteins. So all these are impregnated to give rise to a particular organelles. Now, if you further analyze, then these complex biomolecules are nothing but they are made up of some macromolecules. What are the macromolecules? Basic macromolecules that you all know is made up of proteins, carbohydrates or lipids. These are the basic macromolecules. And these macromolecules, how they are made up of? A protein is made up of amino acids. So macromolecules are made up of simple biomolecules like amino acids, monosaccharides like mainly glucose, fatty acids, etc. So if you further analyze about an amino acid, about a glucose, about a fatty acid, what you will find? You will find some groups. Like a amino acid have a amino group, one carboxyl group, one may be methyl group. So different groups assembled there by the help of different forces, maybe covalent force. Sometimes there are non-covalent force. In biochemistry there are non-covalent force play very important role like hydrogen bond, hydrophobic interaction. That I will be taking you next class. What are the different forces, bonding forces and different force of attraction in a biochemistry. So these simple biomolecules are nothing but made up of different groups. Now if you further analyze, what you will find? The different groups are nothing but made up of some basic elements like carbohydrate, carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, copper, manganese, etc. Now if you can look into that further analysis, you will find some are major elements like which are required more, like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, they are required much more. But there are some elements which are required in very less quantity but very important, like selenium, like molybdenum. So ultimately the whole human body is made up of elements. So we are nothing but a chemistry system in a specialized system. And these are the elements. There are how many elements so far in our world exist? Stable elements are almost 106. There are some non-stable elements as well, 117 or 118, but more than that. But stable elements are 106, and out of which we require only 28 elements for our human body. So this whole body is made up of some elements ultimately, and we will be going to know how they play important roles as a cellular life. So if I ask you what is life, how life exists, what will you say? There are a lot of ways you can explain life, philosophically or some other way, but as a biochemistry, if you look into the cell, you will find the cell actually exists as a reactions, different reactions. These reactions are very, very unique type, but very, very important. The whole cells, some of the basic reactions I have pointed out here. If you look into the cell is there, and this cell first of all have a membrane, that is plasma membrane, which gives the particular environment to this cell, which is totally different from the external environment, specialized environment within the environment. And it has communications From the internal and external environment, always there is a communication by the way of transport, by the way of signal transductions, by the way of waste disposal. So always there is a communication. But these whole reactions are going through in a specialized system. The specialized system, like some basic reactions that you know from your higher secondary classes, like replication. When DNA is produced from the DNA, it is known as replication. From mother DNA to sister DNA is produced. Now, from DNA, cell require transcription. That means DNA to RNA or messenger RNA is produced. The RNA is translated as in a form of protein in the ribosome. And these proteins, they are polypeptides actually, not proteins. Proteins are a three-dimensional specific structure which suits for its function, produced by the post-translational modifications, and these protein serves different purposes. Mainly as enzymes, they catabolize all sorts of reactions which are required. And also as a structural proteins, it gives stability and signal transduction and various other, the protection to the body as antibodies, so they purpose all different functions. And these enzymes play important role in metabolizing the carbohydrates, in metabolizing the lipids. Either metabolism may be of two types, either is a catabolism, that means breakdown, or synthesis, that means production. Now, we require some basic things for the cells to take it from the environment. So, what we require to exist, what we require to survive? Protein, carbohydrate, lipid in the food, as well as vitamins, minerals and water. These are the basic things, the approximate principles of food we require to survive. Now, after taking this, it is digested in the cell. Digestion system is in the same cell, but we have, as a multicellular organism, we have a separate digestive system. So through that system, it is then broken down to simple biomolecules. Digestion to the simple forms, these simple forms are absorbed into the cells as amino acids, mainly which are essential ones. Some amino acids are can be produced in our body from the non-essentials, amino acids which can be produced in our body, but essential amino acids that you will be understanding more in the coming classes about the chemistry of proteins, and then some monosaccharides mainly as glucose which are essential, and fatty acids, some essential fatty acids which are required to be taken inside the cell, and out of that essentials one we can make lot of other non-essential ones which is required in our body, in our cell, and after they are taken in, they are metabolized in fact. They are broken down further, then broken down further, ultimately carbohydrate broken down to give rise to acetyl-CoA, and further broken down to give rise to reducing equivalents as NADH, and they ultimately oxidized in the cell in the mitochondrial system, where lot of energy is produced in the form of ATPs. So this ATP actually helps to make some of the synthesis which are required for our cell survival, and that is with the help of several enzymes. That is in the form of protein, we get it after getting a signal of which type of enzymes to be needed and which type of metabolism to be given. When we get some food in our body, some carbohydrate, we require to have glycolysis start, then require to have other carbohydrate utilization pathway like glycogenesis, But when we want of food, when we don't have food, we are on fasting, then we require to take our stored food like in the form of glycogenolysis or ultimately lipolysis, and this way different enzymes play important role in making those reactions first or slowed down or key controlling elements. And this gets signals through hormones. Neurohormonal mechanisms are there to give signals to all the organs and all the cells that this type of metabolism is needed. So this is a very, very important way of organization in a cell with the biomolecules to have different type of reactions. So to say that cell is nothing but combinations of hundreds of reactions by different biomolecules, sometimes association and sometimes dissociation, which is happening in a specialized system within the environment, but these reactions have definite important properties. Now I am going to give you the important properties of those reactions, which is very much needed to sustain our cell. So, what are the type of properties of the reactions? That I will give you. The property of these reactions are self-perpetuating. What is self-perpetuating? That means it is not controlled. It is it doesn't mean controlled. It means that initiation of the reaction starts by its own. The initiation is sensed by the cell when a signal comes that the tiger is there by way of watching or by hearing his roar or by smelling. Then what you want to do? You want to run. How? The whole thing is nothing but reactions. You are running away from the tiger. What is the reaction? The neurohormonal mechanisms giving you the sense through your brain to your different hormones like adrenaline, and the adrenaline going through the blood stream to different muscular cells. The muscle cells which require to run, so a lot of muscles are involved, and that muscles required to contract, and that contraction required to give some glycogen in the muscle to be broken down. The glycogenolysis, ATP is generated, then ATP gives rise to molecular movement, actin myosin complex are made, so you are going to run. So these are nothing but some neurohormonal signaling system, and this way the initiation is self-perpetuated. Sometimes you control it, sometimes you don't control it. You cannot control your heartbeat. Your heartbeat will rise, your respiration will increase. That is under not your control. You will have perspiration, that is not under your control. So these are self-perpetuating reactions. The reactions are self-perpetuating. Whenever required, it will happen. You cannot stop your glycolysis when you have taken food. So that is self-perpetuating. Then what else? That is self-controlled. That is also very important. Controlled. The reactions the reactions are self-controlled, definitely controlled. You require to have glycolysis, but that cannot continue. that will have to stop, slow down whenever glucose is not there again. So that will slow down. Glycogenesis will slow down. So there are different key enzymes, the regulatory enzymes, which helps in controlling different reactions. There are different way of regulation. Like you can slow down your fan, you can stop your fan. So enzymes also slow down its reactions, stop the reactions, and they can also go through the other reverse reactions whenever required. The glycogenolysis and glycogenesis are reversible reactions. Whenever required, it will happen. So this way, it is a self-control through hormones and enzymes. Then another important, very important aspect of these reactions, that they are harmonious. Harmonious means, harmony means this is very good music. But when it goes erratic, it is a noise. The reaction is never noise. They are very harmonious. All the time, whenever you have to have a purpose of doing something, the reactions are same type of reactions will go on. Not the same time the glycogenesis and glycogenolysis will happen the same time, never. The same time glycogenesis as well as glycolysis as well as other synthetic reactions like lipogenesis, that will be happening. So similar group of reactions will happen. This is a very harmonious way of reaction system. So that is also very important property of the reactions. Number 4, these reactions has a unique property. The cellular reaction is a unique property that it is actually helps in getting its own reaction. That means a cell can create another cell. So a cell can create another cell means the cell can itself begets another cell. That means it can be a continuous process. The cell on its own can create another cell only. Nobody else can create that cell. So this is a particular property which is also very important in a cellular life. That means self regenerating. And it is a very well balanced. All the cellular reactions are well balanced. They are never occurs imbalancely. That means when glucose is there, the glucose will be absorbed in your cell till glucose is there in the blood. But when it is glucose goes down level in the blood, the glucose will be generated from your body glucose store, like in the glycogen form of life. And it is distributed finely so that blood glucose level is maintained at a particular level so that all the time your body gets the energy. So this is a very well balanced system of reaction system. So can take is a balanced one. And these reactions, definitely whenever reactions to occur, you require energy. How will you get this energy? The energy, actually, we all get this energy from the environment only, from our foodstuff. The energy is actually from the sun, that you know. We find photosynthesis is energy stored in the plants, and we take that food, we break down in the form of our digestion, absorption and metabolism, intermediary metabolism. And finally, it is through the cellular oxidation procedure where we get that energy stored in the form of ATP, which is the energy currency in our body. And whenever required to synthesize, we produce to make some new bonds, we require that energy. And that energy is supplied from the ATP itself. So, all the energy we get from the environment itself, but in a specialized system, in a specialized way, we utilize that system. So, a cell continues by way of getting all the help from the environment, and it has got its own environment, own reaction system, own energy utilization procedure that is going on. So in this way, if you can look at the cell, then you will be able to understand the whole thing in the body of the human being. Now any alteration, this is a very dynamic system, nothing is fixed. Whenever required, the protein is synthesized by the help of the DNA. That protein may be an enzyme, may be a structure. It is working on that particular metabolic cycle. Then after that, it is again degraded to amino acids and further utilized. So all the time the same thing is going on, degradation, synthesis, by the help of that DNA, which actually knows what type of protein to be synthesized in which way. So information system all is there in the cell itself, and this is a dynamic steady state. So dynamic steady state, if you just look at a river, you will find the water is standstill, but actually not. All the water molecules are flowing. So our body, our system, our cells, our organs, our tissues, all are changing. In fact, every 6 months your whole cells are changed, your whole body is changed, but you are there because you are a dynamic steady system. Our body is a dynamic steady state, and we seems we are the same one, but actually all our blood cells are changed, all our skin cells are changed, all our mucous cells are changed, slowly other cells are also changed. So it is dynamic steady state, and any alteration of its structure as well as function will give rise to some problem, and that problem is known as disease. So when you learn more and more about chemistry of all these biomolecules, as I have told you, and their interaction in the metabolism and their alteration in the structural function, that is the concept of learning biochemistry, for which you are attending the classes. So please carry on, and we will try to give you further ideas about the biochemistry. Thank you all.